Hello and welcome to Linux World. In today's topic, we are going to continue on our container platform series on Podman. Today we're going to talk about creating some more Podman images, customized images. So let's look at our current available images. To do that, I'm going to run a command podman images. So we have a CentOS Stream 9 image. It's an OS image, and we can use that image to create containers and install what we want inside it. So what we can do is we can run a container using this image. Podman run CentOS Stream 9, use this image, OS image, with bin bash shell, right? And we are going to specify right here on while deploying to install a web server on it, or we're going to, what we could do is upgrade it first and then also run another command and install HTTPD. So we're going to create a custom image with our web server installed on it. We're going to update just like we install operating system on a virtual machine or a physical server. And one of the first things we do is update and upgrade the system to the latest patch level, and then we install packages we need on it, right? Just like so, we will install. Actually, okay, so we ran that, and if we clear the screen out here, podman PS to check the process, you don't see that there is any container running. That's because we ran that container in a non-daemon mode, like it's an exited state. So to check this container, we will run this command with the -a flag, and you will see all the containers we ran that are in an exited state. Like you see, the status is exited. So this is the last one we ran, right? That's the ID. We did some DNF commands on it. It named itself Goofy something. So now what we can do is use this, and well, we can run it like this, pipe tail -1 to see the last one only. We ran this about 2 minutes ago, right? And we installed HTTP on it. Okay, we don't want to keep it in a running state. That's why I haven't kept it in a running state. We didn't specify a -d flag to it to keep it running if you as in a daemon mode. So what we can do right now is use this container that we deployed with the CentOS 9 image, and it has the updates installed on it and the web server HTTPD package. We can then create an image out of that. So to do that, what we will do is run a command, clear the screen out, podman commit. Oh, actually I should have grabbed the container ID here. Yeah, podman commit that container ID and we're gonna name this image. We're gonna name it, since this is our personal image, I'm gonna specify my domain. You can name it whatever you want. linux.world/CentOS9-HTTPD. So we know that this is our image. It's a CentOS 9 and it has HTTP on it. And let's let that run. So now we do Podman images. Now you can see that we have in our repository our own image. Okay, it's named CentOS 9 HTTPD. You can identify it like this. And this first one we pulled from the repository, it's just a bare CentOS Stream 9 image. Okay, so we can use this image, okay, to deploy containers in the future. So now that we have our custom image, Podman images will show us that we have a custom CentOS 9 image with HTTPD installed on it. We can run a container and start the service at the same time with Podman run -DT -P to specify the web server port, which is port 80. We're going to map that to our host port 8081. So we'll specify the host port first, 8081, port 80 of the container, so that we can access it from our test VM on port 8081. And we are going to use this image, okay, and we will start the service, HTTPD -D on foreground. Okay, so Podman PS now shows us that we have started this pod, and it named itself as Sharp Bell. And we can specify our custom name as well, but I didn't. Now, with that out of the way, we can create a test page. And to do that, what we could do is Podman execute on this pod. We're going to execute something on that pod with bin bash -C, and we are going to echo a line called HTTPD on Podman container, and we're going to send that over to our good old var html under index.html. So we're trying to write a file, index.html, under this location on our container, and we are going to write HTTP on Podman on that file. Okay, so I'll press enter, and now we could use curl to localhost to check port 8081, and we get the output. So we can do curl. It's like opening up a web page to see what's on that web page, and we are accessing our localhost, which is testvm00 on port 8080, as we have mapped the ports, the container port 80 to our host port 8081, and this is how you access it. It is also possible to access this via a container network. So Podman, let's try this one more command. Podman inspect -L and we're going to grep out our, do a backslash IP A EDRESS. I'm going to search for that. And then this is our IP address for the container. So we can access it, curl our container IP address directly, and you can see that it works. And this will work on, of course, it's by default port 80 for web services. So there you go. So that is done, and I believe we are done, and we will continue on this series. In the next series, we will talk about using a Docker file, a traditional Docker file, to deploy applications on containers. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.